Welcome back. According to the Department of Public Safety, there have been a total of 26 officer-involved shootings in Mississippi this year. And a few moments ago, you heard about the most recent one in Greenville that claimed the life of a female officer. Here on the coast, there's been a lot of attention surrounding last week's officer-involved shooting in Gulfport, in which a teen was killed. Now, each one of these shootings has to be investigated by the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, which falls under the Department of Public Safety. And Public Safety Commissioner Sean-Tindell is joining me this afternoon with more on that process. A moment ago, Commissioner Tindell, I called it a delicate process, and I know that often is the case with these.
It really is, and all these are tragic. Whenever we have a situation where MBI has to come in and investigate these types of matters. And it's particularly tragic when you look at a case where we're talking about a teenager. And we have these, and we've had them from time to time in other parts of the state. And it's just heartbreaking, and it's tragic on many levels. But the legislature has tasked the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation of handling these so that the family members involved, when somebody is involved with an officer-involved shooting, they can trust the independence of the investigation. They can trust the process. And one of the changes that we've made internally a couple of years ago was that we will be transparent, and video and our investigations will be made public as part of public records requests once the investigation is completed and once a grand jury has had an opportunity to review the evidence. And we do that because we do believe that transparency creates accountability, and with that accountability, we want the public's trust that we're doing this the right way.
Well, in the essence of transparency, can you walk us through what you can of the processes in terms of the investigation? Of course, we have a Gulfport freshman, Jaheim McMillan, who was shot and killed as a result of last Thursday's officer-involved shooting in Gulfport. As you can imagine, there's a lot of community reaction to this. There have been other suspects arrested, and there were weapons found. We learned that from court records already, and as well from Gulfport Police Chief Adam Cooper yesterday when he updated us. But what can you tell us as far as the process, how long it's going to take, and where we are with that?
Well, of course, we've been doing interviews. We have met with the family, and you know, for MBI, they arrive on the scene as soon as they get the call, and they start doing their job, trying to gather the evidence, trying to get list of witnesses. Of course, we're trying to get the video surveillance from the Family Dollar as well. And really, what we want to do, and the critical point for us, is to do a complete investigation. We want to make sure that we're not just relying on one piece of evidence, because different angles can show different things. Mm-hmm. And you know, I think it's important whenever we release the information, we don't release bits and pieces of it, but we paint the full picture of what happened. And as I mentioned, transparency is key, but timing does matter. And so we want to make sure that when we open that book and let people see it, they can see the whole picture and make their own determinations as to what happened. And we also want to make sure that the process is protected and that we're consistent in how we do it. You know, we have not said, oh, we're only going to do this if the officer was justified, or we're only going to release the video if the officer wasn't justified. We've tried to be consistent, and we're going to handle it the same way in every case.
A lot of people are eager to see video, body camera footage. You mentioned you're working, or your investigators are working to get footage from Family Dollar. Is there any chance that may be released to the public before the investigation is complete?
Right now, no. I mean, our policy has been that we're going to wait till that investigation is complete. Again, that's just one piece of evidence, mm-hmm. and we wouldn't convict somebody in a jury trial based upon one piece of evidence. And so I think it would be unfair for everybody to release that to the public at this stage. And as I mentioned, different angles show different things. You release the body cam footage, you might see it one way, where the camera footage from the Family Dollar might show something different. And so, and we have a lot of witnesses we want to interview. We want to look at a lot of just the physical evidence when you're talking about the bullets and where they went, and the trajectories and ballistics. So we've got to do all those things. And I understand this is my community too. I mean, I graduated from Gulfport mm-hmm. High. My children go to school there. It's emotional for me as well. And you know, the one thing that I want to protect is the integrity of the investigation that we're doing. It's tragic. I know the people want the information now, but I want it, when it comes out, I want to make sure that we have looked underneath every stone, that we've dotted all our I's, crossed all our T's, and done a thorough investigation. And I won't let speed and expediency of getting something out sacrifice the quality of what we release. My biggest fear is that we'd release something early, and then there would be something contradictory that would come out a week or two later, or we haven't interviewed all the witnesses that we need to interview, and we just try to get information out there. So NBI is working diligently. My investigators aren't getting any sleep. I'm not getting any sleep, but we're trying to do this in a prudent manner, and the community itself is at the forefront of my mind. It's where I live. It's where I grew up. It breaks my heart.
And any final words? I know we also run into the danger, Chief Cooper having to make some clarification about an officer who was not even in the state at the time, because social media always plays a role in this as far as people going ahead and making other accusations. Any words of advice for the community as they wait patiently for this investigation to play out?
Well, one, I would tell them, I have pressed upon our agents that this case is of the utmost importance because of a lot of the factors revolving around it. So I expect that we will complete our investigation in a very, very timely manner. And then I would also encourage them to reserve their judgments until they have an opportunity to see the entirety of the evidence, and that will be coming. We just want to make sure that NBI is doing its job, and we don't rush to judgment, and I don't want the public to rush to judgment, because this is where we live, and it's very important.
All right. Well, Commissioner Sean-Tindell, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate the transparency, and we'll, of course, continue to keep checking in with you on this particular case.
Absolutely. Thank you.